You can defeat Malenia. No summons are required, and you can beat her solo. Every time I look at a YouTube video about Malenia, there's always that one person who comments how easy the fight is. This fight is not easy, and if you're having trouble with the attack patterns, then you are at the right place. This video will be broken down into 4 sections, so feel free to skip around. Alright, let's go! On most of these basic attacks, the solution is to either roll back or walk backwards depending on distance. Same thing here, reach is pretty short on this attack, so you should be able to just walk backwards. I think this was designed to catch people trying to sidestep, but it's easy to see coming. Same as before, just roll back. Now, the slam does have a kind of crazy reach, so I recommend rolling to the side to avoid a roll catch. So she tries to get behind you and catch you rolling towards her with 2 swings. Just wait for her to finish circling and then roll back to avoid the attack. The sparks from her extended arm is a big tell of what's coming. It's easy to get roll caught if you go backwards, so the best way to avoid this attack is to dodge through her swing. I typically had more luck rolling away from her sword arm, but I think you could probably go the other direction and it would be fine. This is one of those dangerous attacks that can one-shot. The tell is the jump and spark shooting out. When she jumps, wait for her foot to touch the ground, then roll to the side. Now, if you're feeling brave or want to showboat in front of your friends, you can avoid the hit by jumping to the side. Now, everyone's favorite, the waterfowl dance. I know you can run back and dodge it, but honestly, I struggle to do that consistently. Instead, I opted for the shield strategy. Basically, when she jumps up in the air with her sword above her head, you know it's time to back up and switch to your shield. Let her slam the first flurry into your shield, then roll past her after she stops. She will then charge past you to do a second flurry. Then roll towards her to avoid the final flurry. She gets a little health from this, but it's the easiest and most consistent way to avoid dying from it. Now keep in mind you do need to manage your stamina and be prepared to block this attack. You will also need to upgrade your shield to increase the guard boost. This one can catch you by surprise if you're not expecting it. Basically, she puts her sword behind her back and charges forward. The first swing can be dodged by rolling back, the second one can be dodged by rolling to the side. This one looks a lot like the previous attack, but instead of charging, she stands in place. You can avoid it by either backing up, or you can wait for her to crouch and then dodge to the side, then through the follow-up swing. The direction is not as important on this one as long as you hit the dodge timing correctly. You can see her hand go back, and at this point you need to dodge to the side. So unless you like Elden popsicles, be ready for this one. She does not do this a lot in the fight, but it can one-shot you. So once she slams her sword on the ground, it takes a second for her to recover. You can do a jump attack and oftentimes pull off another hit before she swings. This can be hard to pull off, but after her 3-swing combo, she'll sometimes stop holding her sword out. This lets you know that you have about a half a second to counter. It can be difficult to spot the difference. If she does not hold her sword out, then the attack pattern is going to continue. After you dodge this one, you can normally fit in a jump attack and possibly a follow-up. I'll normally wait about a quarter of a second to see if my jump attack stunned her, or if she's about to go into another attack. Sometimes she'll just walk around like she doesn't know what's going on. This is a good opportunity to go ahead and go for a poke, or if you're using rivers of blood, go ahead and pull out that weapon arm. Once her sword slams into the ground, you can normally get in a jump attack with a follow-up. It takes about half a second for her to recover. This is the best opportunity to rack up damage, and you can normally get in a couple of swings before the dodge and a jump plus a follow-up after the dodge. Right when she finishes the waterfowl dance, you can get in a poke or a couple of hits. The window is short and this can be dangerous, so use it at your own discretion. This is a good opportunity to also drink a flask. Basically has a lot of the same attacks as before, with a few differences. So she opens up phase 2 with one of these, and may use it again in this fight. This one does not require any rolling, just move left then run straight. Basically cut an L to avoid the slam, then keep running because the explosion can kill her. She seems to miss if you're running towards her. Still a threat in phase 2, but honestly the same tactic as before. Let your shield block the first flurry, then roll past her, then towards her. The only difference is that it does build up Scarlet Rot, but shouldn't be enough to proc. Her slam attack now have many explosions that trigger just after the attack. The goal is to get back so that you don't get caught by it. Even if you're close, typically 2 rolls is enough to get yourself clear. So I notice she will normally do this when you drink a flask. Just roll left to avoid the sweep, and then right to avoid the stab. This is one of her most dangerous attacks in phase 2. The tell for this attack is the glowing aura that appears as she floats up into the air. The best thing you can do is get back, give yourself some distance, roll left and right. If you angle it just right, you should be able to avoid the roll catches. Now watch out for this one because it's the roll catch MVP. If you just roll back and not left and right, you will get caught. This one is just going to take some practice to get down. Now the opening windows are shorter here, but you still have a lot of opportunity to attack. Once the pedals are down, you can land a jump attack and then follow up before she reacts. This is also a good opportunity to drink a flask. She still does this in phase 2, but it does not seem to happen as often. Take advantage of it with a poke or Rivers of Blood weapon art if you're using it. This is still the best opportunity to rack up damage, and you can normally get in a couple of swings before the dodge and jump attack and swing after the dodge. You can punish the slam, but you need to get back first. Wait for the explosion and then do a running jumping attack as soon as the explosion resolves. The window is shorter than it was in phase 1, but you can still get in some damage here. Don't get too greedy on the attacks. If you miss an attack window, just wait for another one. When you land a jumping attack, wait about 1/4 of a second to see if it staggers her, or if she's going to start another attack. It's hard to get the timing down, but it'll help you not take random hits. I used bleed and frost weapons on my run, but I think you can adapt this advice to any run. I'm going to put my build on the screen so that you can see it now. Alright, so I'm going to show you my run with all the things we just talked about.
sorry. I finally met my match.